Last week, you were given the opportunity to listen to the beautiful music of the Romantic era. It's wonderful music, and I hope you all really enjoyed the extra time listening without having to listen to lectures on what the music was supposed to be about and how it was formed. We're going to talk about the format of this music, the vocabulary for this music, and the composers that wrote this music this week as we normally would have done last week. But I really wanted to give you an opportunity with this music to listen to it without bias, to try and understand it on your own and in your own terms before I gave you the actual vocabulary for how to listen to this as a musician would. So this week we move on to our normal series of lectures, but we have a few different things going on since we have the live concert review. In this week's lectures, we're going to talk about three main things. We're going to define what romantic music is. We're going to go over the characteristics of romanticism in music, just as we would with all of the other forms of music we've talked about. And then we're going to talk about the popular forms of the era. You already know basically what these forms come in: vocal music, piano music, orchestral music, and opera, because you've already listened to the music. But we'll go ahead and define the specific forms you listen to and talk a little bit about the composers who wrote those particular forms. As you already know, this week's assignment is different. This is the week where you have your first live concert review due. All the instructions and guidelines for this concert review have been online for many weeks, so if you have any more questions about it before you turn it in, please email me or use the FAQ forum to post your concerns. You can find those guidelines linked not only in the left-hand menu, but in the announcement I posted last week about the concert review. For any of you who have not gone to a live concert yet or ticketed event, please make sure you get that done by Friday or Saturday of this week so that you have at least 24 hours to write your concert review. Thanks to those of you who have already been proactive and written your concert reviews and turned them in. It's been really interesting to read the first few that have come in. There is no other assignment this week besides the live concert review. I've done this on purpose so that you would have less to do this week, so that you had more time to do the concert review well. Remember, I'm not only grading on the fact that you went to the concert, but on how well you write about what you saw and what you heard. So please make sure you take enough time on this assignment so that you can get a good grade. The group discussion board this week, as I've said, is going to be optional since there's no other assignment due this week. I will, if any of you choose to post on there about any of the romantic music and the things you learn about this week, be giving up to 5 points of extra credit to any of you that post thoughtfully and often on the group discussion board. Those 5 points will go on to whatever your lowest test score at the end of the semester is. So for any of you that aren't doing very well on the exams, this is a great opportunity for you to get on the group discussion boards and get a few extra points for those exams. I will also be grading your class participation this week. Since there's no review assignment or question assignment, and I'm not requiring a group discussion board post, I will be instead tracking your use of the lectures online. I have the ability to watch who is looking at the lectures and who finishes each lecture. So I will be tracking that, and if you listen to all the lectures, you'll get your full class participation grade. If you do not, I will give you a certain grade depending on how many of the lectures you watch for the week. If you listen to half of the lectures or less, you will receive a failing group discussion board grade. Hopefully that makes sense to all of you. If you have any questions about that, feel free to give me an email or put up anything in the FAQ forum. Looking ahead to next week, week 10, we're going to be discussing 20th century classical music in that week, but I want you to be thinking about the fact that you will also have your next exam during that week. Exam 4 is going to cover the 2 weeks on the Romantic era and 20th century classical music. So that will cover part 5 and part 6 of your text, only the required reading pages that I've assigned you each week. Not only will you be responsible for the material from the textbook, but you'll be responsible from the material regarding the listing examples and the material from the lectures. That includes knowing forms, vocabulary, composers, specific ideas and stories behind the listing examples. So make sure you're reading the textbook this week and that you read for week 10 as well, and then listen to all of the lectures so that you get a good grade on your exam. And now it's on to the lectures for the week about what is Romanticism, how is it used in music, who were the composers that were writing this music, and what are the forms that they were writing in. I hope you enjoy learning about the music you've already begun listening to. Hopefully it will just open your eyes to all of the amazingness of these composers and the music. I hope you've enjoyed the listening, enjoy these lectures now, and enjoy learning about the music that you've already heard.